Today I'm going to be going through 5 of my very recent pickups, and I'm focusing on just 5 very high-end items that I picked up, very unique items, and I'm going to talk about each one, why I got it, why you might want to get it, and if it's a good investment or not. I'm going to talk about all of that, and we're going to start off with a bit of a holy grail here for me. It's not the best condition, so it does have a catch, but I got it for real cheap. I think I paid, it was either $20 or $40. I got an insane steal of a deal. This is a sealed Valkyrie Profile number 2 for the PlayStation 2. It does need to be cleaned. The seal is very dusty, and either the game or the seal appears to have some scratches or whatnot, so the odds of me getting this graded are pretty low for that reason. Honestly, I'll probably end up selling it in the future as Valkyrie Profile 2 continues to increase in value. And by the way, the Valkyrie Profile series is very underrated. And Valkyrie Profile 1 is one of the best RPGs on the PlayStation 1, if not the best, arguably the best. An argument could be made that that is the best PlayStation RPG game. The Valkyrie Profile series is very underrated. I don't know why they haven't made any recent ones, actually. As far as I know, they have not. They should make some for the Switch, PS5. Let's go. Revive the series. This is the greatest hits version as well, so it's not the most sought after. Generally, greatest hits versions are not the best, but I will have to buy another copy because I want to be able to play that game. So I don't have an open copy right now. So the next two, I got these locally on Facebook Marketplace. So for those of you who think that you cannot get good deals locally on your Facebook Marketplace, your Kijijis, your Craigslist, you can get good deals. You're not going to get garage sale style deals. Those days are over. Give up. Once in a blue moon they show up. I admit it, I get them once in a blue moon. But the days when you could go to a garage sale and pick up a pile of NES games is over. But you can get really freaking good deals. I get them all the time locally. I bought some old lady's Wii that was clearly she was selling it. It was her kid's Nintendo Wii. It had Pandora's, oh, I forgot the name. Pandora's something for the Wii. Super rare game. Pandora's Box or something. I can't remember. Pandora's Tower, I think it was. It had Mario Kart, all the Marios. It had 4 controllers. It had a rare Nintendo Wii carry bag. I don't even remember all the games because I bought it about a year or two ago. But locally, this is what I got. Baten Kaitos, Eternal Wings. This is the first one of the series. The second one, Baten Kaitos Origins, is incredibly rare. Which, if you want to know what that one looks like, here it is. So this is my second copy of this. I got this as an investment. I will be flipping this. I'm going to hold on to it because I think this is going to go to $200 minimum in the long haul. Baten Kaitos is already $200 Canadian dollars, if not more. So I got this because, so first of all, she was asking $80 for each of these. Mario Party 7 is the other one. I have like 2 or 3 copies of this. I'm not sure how many I have left. I've had probably 5 or 6 copies of Mario Party 7 throughout my days here because, and by the way, I talked her down to 40 each Canadian. When she was asking 80, that was about fair value for this. It's worth a little bit more on eBay, but $80 is about what it's worth. And the reason why I paid 40, even though I already own 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 copies still, is because I'm going to flip this. every single time I get this game, I flip it and I sell it locally for $75. And not every single time I get a buyer. I've never had trouble finding a buyer. The only time I had trouble finding a buyer is when I try to get 80 for it. And usually they talk me down to 75, or they'll try to, they'll start low and they'll be like, hey, 65. And then I know what I have. I'm not selling this for 65. Good luck getting a copy for 65. I know what I have. And then they come up, and then we end up settling for 75. And they come and pick it up. And this lady even had the microphone to go with it. That's bumped up the price. I ain't selling this for 75. I ain't taking a penny under 80, and I will even try to get 85 or 90. I have to check what recent, what it's trending at right now, because I don't know. But at the very least, I'll get $80 for it. Which means, after I sell that for $80, I got this for free. And again, I don't know what this is selling for at this moment in time, but I would take a gander to say this is worth about $70. And these are all complete in box. And you have to remember, games like this, being on the Gamecube, which didn't sell well to begin with, are quite rare. They didn't sell well, and they're highly sought after right now because the Gamecube is highly sought after. The Gamecube got completely ignored by the market when it came out. It was completely surpassed by the PlayStation, and all of the Gamecube didn't stand a chance. I'm sorry to say. Poor Gamecube. I wish they sold better and did better, but that was a failed console. Not as bad as the Wii U, obviously. It did fairly well for what it was in comparison to something like the Wii U. But yeah, this, games like this probably would have done much better. Baten Kaitos Origins would have done much better. Lost Kingdoms 1 and 2 would have done much better. These are great games. It's just the console wasn't popular enough to be able to get the sales that they deserved. So that's what I'm going to do with those two games. I'm going to flip those. I'm going to flip the Mario Party 7 right away because that's such an easy flip. And by the way, that's a very common game, but it's very sought after. You can sell it like that. You find that out in the wild for any amount of any half decent deal. I'm telling you can flip it and put that money towards something else. Next game I got was Wild Arms 4 for the PlayStation 2. Don't remember what I paid, but I know I got a deal on it because I don't buy anything unless I'm getting a deal on it. I got it as an investment. I'm going to be honest with you. I never played it. I never played any of the Wild Arms games. But this one caught my eye because I always wanted to play the freaking Wild Arms games. Back in the PlayStation 1 era, when I was a young buck, I was trying to get my hands on Wild Arms 1. This was pre-internet, guys. There was no internet back then. And if there was, I didn't have access to it. Okay, that was a rich man. Only the rich man had the internet. So I remember, I couldn't even find Wild Arms in the store. They didn't have it in stock. So if your local game store didn't have it, then you didn't know how to get it. And I remember one of my friends, I don't know if he was lying or what, but he said his mother worked at a warehouse that sold video games and that he could get me any game and I could buy it. And I kept begging him for Wild Arms 1, and he never said he would do it. well, previously he said he would do it until I actually asked for the game. And I think he just kept making up excuses. I don't think his mother worked at a warehouse that sold video games. I think he made that up. Question that. Save the best for last. This is a gem almost none of you know about. And if you do know about it, you're a real collector. And I'll tell you why. Importuner Challenge. This is going up in value. This ain't cheap. And by the way, so I got real lucky on this. So I bought this. When I bought this, it didn't have the manual. Okay? I paid like $20 for it because in the auction that I got it in the private auction, no one at the time knew that this was actually a rare game. So I was able to get it cheap. It's only a 24-hour auction. And also it didn't have manual, so probably a lot of people were turned off. The crummy racing game, or half-decent racing game, no manual. I'm not paying more than 20. So I won the auction for 20. I immediately went on eBay. Actually, even before the auction ended, I already was looking on eBay to see if there was a manual for sale. And sure enough, there was a manual for sale. The guy wanted, I think, like 10 or 12 bucks, but he had or best offer. I made him an offer. I think I got it down to like $7, and he took it. So I ordered the manual before I even got this game in the mail, because with these sellers that I'm talking about, you generally buy several games from them until you have a box worth of games, and that way you save money on shipping. So that was a total of 5 games. These are 5 of I cherry-picked some of the more high-end, interesting games to give you guys a bit of a shorter video, because I know I can rant a lot. I like my video games. I like to talk about video games. I love video game history. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention. So what makes this unique is it's called Import Tuner Challenge, but it's actually a Tokyo Xtreme Racing game. For some reason, they didn't want to advertise that. It's part of the Tokyo Xtreme Racing series, and it's the last game ever made in the series. As far as I know, they've never made a new one since. This is the last one. And it's also the best one. Like, this is actually a really freaking good game. I've never... Oh, and it's an Xbox 360 exclusive. I mean, this game, if you can find this, if you ever find this game, buy it right away, because a lot of people pass it. They don't know. They just see a racing game. Racing games aren't worth very much. That's worth $20 max. I'm not going to buy it. You could find this in a pawn shop. You could find this at a garage sale. You could find this out in the wild somewhere, and I'm telling you, you might find it for $20. Go look it up. It's worth a lot more. Craigslist, Kijiji, Marketplace. When somebody's selling a lot of Xbox games, or like a 360 console with all their games, you always look at all the games individually. Look at the picture, because they don't usually list the games. They just look at the picture and spot out the rare ones. And unless you know what you're looking for, you would see something like this in a game lot and you wouldn't know that this is a gem. And this is going to go to $200. I'm telling you right now. It's going to go to $200. It's not there today, but it will be. A lot of people back in the day, look at all these games behind me. A lot of people back in the day, oh, that game will never go to 200. It'll never go to 100. It'll never go to 300. It'll never go to 500. Well, sure enough, they all went to 200, 300, 500. These Super Nintendo games ain't cheap no more. This is a much newer console than the Super Nintendo, but it will have its day. So anyways, guys, if you enjoy this type of content, you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and help us get to over 9,000 subscribers. That is our goal. I will not rest or sleep until I finally get to over 9,000.